Well, President Obama came out with the deal with Iran, and he did call it a deal with Iran this morning. And when I listened to him explain this, it sounded so good and so compelling. I felt like I were Rip Van Winkle and I'd been asleep for the last 20 years, and I woke up not knowing what all had transpired between us and Iran throughout all these negotiations. And I've said that I thought that John Kerry was as likely to be operating centrifuges in Tehran as he was to turn down the deal. We knew the president was coming with a deal. Here are the things that we're picking out of this thing as it slowly emerges. One of them is that we're going to have inspectors, IAEA inspectors, whom I have met with twice in Vienna in the last year and a half or so. They tell me that they can only tell us what they know, they can't tell us what they don't know, and they can't go places that they maybe want to go. They can only go where the Iranians let them go. That's still pretty much true. If they have an application to go and review where there might be some facilities in Iran, under this new agreement, Iran has 14 days to receive the written application and to act on that written application. Now, they can refuse, and that supposedly would be the start of triggering the sanctions going back on again. But what really happens is this: $100 billion in sanctions and assets will be released of the Iranians. The trade embargo with oil and in Europe, that gets opened up again. These things happen a little bit incrementally, according to the president's speech this morning. But in the end, it sets the stage. And I think one of the things that was very well stated on this was Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, who said this morning that essentially lights a ticking time bomb, or lights the fuse, excuse me, for a nuclear operation later on. So this may buy time so that President Obama gets into retirement, having claimed this as one of the seminal successes of his administration. But instead, I'd listen to what they're saying in places like Israel, who rejects this deal. And I'm very concerned that this starts a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. So if Saudi Arabia is against it, if Israel is against it, how do we think that we've made a good deal here? I think it's not a good deal, but I'm going to look at the details.